You guys better buckle up today because it's gonna be a wild ride. This is a story I have never told anyone else. It's about how and why I ended up in China. And to be very honest with you, it was completely random and I gave up everything for it. So let's talk about it. And this is to celebrate me reaching 10K subscribers. I could not have done it without you guys. Thank you so, so much. Let's jump into it. Here's some backstory. I had just graduated with a degree in petroleum geology and applied directly to get my master's in grad school. All I had to do was show up, but something just felt wrong. I felt like there was something else that I needed to do, other places that I needed to go. So I decided to take some time off, like about a year, to go and travel I did. I love traveling, and I have traveled to so many places. In university, I studied abroad in France. And I thought, like, if I'm going to spend so much money on a ticket, I better make it worth it. So I made the trip 3 months long, although my study abroad program was only about 2 weeks. I didn't know where I wanted to go, I just knew I wanted to go all over the place. So I booked my ticket into CDG and out of CDG. I studied alongside the French. I met my best childhood friend in Besançon, France. I finally got to meet my German family, and overall I hit about 15 countries. So I thought I could handle anything after that. And I decided I should try to go to India. And I always try to make things more affordable. So I checked and saw that going into Beijing made things a lot more affordable, or the ticket price cheaper. And I thought, well, since I'm going through Beijing, China, I might as well stop by. I knew that if I wanted to travel, I would have to pay for it. I paid for everything in my life and I am a self-made woman. So I was searching for jobs I could do remotely. I love to write. So I was searching for jobs where I could do just that, write. And while I was searching for those jobs, I found a company called VIP Kid. It was a Chinese company and it was only about 3 years old at the time. And it was for teachers to teach one-on-one classes to Chinese kids in mainland China. And I thought it looked really interesting. At first, I was wondering if it was even legit, but as I searched more, I realized it was legit and people as big as Kobe were investing in the company, which was wild to me. So I interviewed. The interview was a pretty involved process. I had to have a classroom already set up before I even knew if I got the job, and do a mock class. So I put my heart and soul into it and I got the job. So I was waking up at like 4 a.m. every day because it was on Beijing time, and I had to go to bed at around 7 p.m. every night just to keep up, but I couldn't be happier. And while doing this, I traveled to China and India. It was fabulous, literally traveling the world and making money while doing so. I spent about 2 weeks in China and about 3 weeks in India. And while I was in China, Chinese people absolutely shocked me. Why? Because of their kindness. Everyone that I met who saw me struggling tried to help me. For instance, when I was trying to find my accommodation, the taxi driver literally spent extra time with me, making sure I got into the exact right place. And it wasn't easy. I only had a picture for reference. I got a DD driver to take me to the Great Wall, and he was absolutely wonderful. We talked the entire way there, of course using a translator app. He bought me Tonghulu because I told him it was my first time in China, and I asked him if he would wait for me at the Great Wall while I went in and drive me back because I didn't have cell phone service outside of where I was staying, so I had no idea how I was going to get back home, and he agreed, and he was so, so nice. Thank you so much if you're out there watching. That was an amazing trip. I will never forget it in my entire life. Now, on the other hand, in India, it was shocking, but for different reasons. I did really enjoy my trip, but also there were some parts that were really dark and really dangerous. I got sexually assaulted during the trip, and it was a very traumatic experience. And this is the part of the story that I haven't talked about ever to anyone. And just in China, I felt warmly welcomed. I felt safe and at peace. In India, I felt like it was totally chaotic. It was dangerous everywhere, and I was just always worried.
I like you.
I like you too.
Bye.
Bye bye. Nice to talk to you. Chinese people are always so nice. That's the second time I've seen her. All in all, I don't regret any place that I've been because everywhere that I've traveled to, I've learned many, many things about the people there and also about myself. And one thing about India, I do think that needs to change is the culture towards women. I think it's not fair at all. But anyways, that's another topic for another day. So with VIP Kid, I taught for about a year and I got an email from a guy in HR at VIP Kid, and he asked me if I wanted to interview for a green screen position where I would teach in front of thousands of kids. It was live streaming, and as well be like a TV character. I thought there is no way that they're ever going to want me, so I might as well just interview for fun. It would be good practice. So I said, sure, I'll interview. And I interviewed and they loved me. They wanted me in China as fast as humanly possible. So I sold literally everything that I owned. I had just bought a brand new car with my own money. I had to figure out what on earth to do with that. I just adopted a dog. Luckily, my parents loved her, so they took her in. And what was left, I crammed into 2 suitcases, and I promised my mom I would only stay here for 1 year. Now that has got to be the biggest lie that foreigners tell themselves. They will only stay in China for 1 year because they come and they end up loving it. 1 year turns into 5, turns into 10, and so on. And that's how I ended up in China. Now there's way more to the story, but that's for another day. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you like this video, like it, comment, and subscribe because it helps so much. And I just set up a Discord. It's so cool. So if you like Discord, join my Discord. Let's chat there. All right, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.
热一张，热一张，当年用电起火的地方。